3 Nigerian info. It's time for us to switch conversations. I am Kaladakuro Batubo. My pleasure having you on the other side of the radio. Good afternoon to you. All right. Remember, we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, we're active on X, Nigerian Info PH, all platforms. Okay, so what do I want to talk about? There's something that crossed my mind, while I was trying to prepare for the show today. Usually, when we assess the government at the center, I'm talking about the federal government, we usually would say, the government is not distributing resources evenly. As a matter of fact, we have in our constitution the federal character that allows for even distribution of resources, and many a times resource can be said to be, or resource, I beg your pardon, can be said to be appointments, right? Appointments. And so during the Jonathan's administration, for instance, the northern part of the country argued, it's only southerners that are being appointed as ministers and whatever appointments they made. During Buhari's time, it was said only northerners were allowed into Aso Villa and Aso Rock. But we rarely have these conversations at the state and at the local government level, most especially for states that have multi-ethnic nationalities. Example, Rivers State. So in Rivers State, we have the Ijaws, we have the Ikwere, we have Eche, we have different nationalities. And usually, we may not make it a broad conversation. It may not necessarily be a broad conversation. However, there are very silent grumblings, so to say, murmurings as to, the governor did not look our way, or development is only happening for instance, in the past administration, the argument was Port Harcourt Obiakpo, even though the governor at the time would come out and say, no, I have distributed development to every part of the state. People will come out and say, no. You may think you have distributed, but actually what you've done is just Port Harcourt and Obi. And that conversation lingered till, I think, even after the end of Nyesom Wike's reign as governor of Rivers State. For some reason, I want to bring to the fore a similar conversation, because about a week or two before I sojourned on a break, I talked about the situation in Obiakpo, where they were talking about, should it be Evo, should it be Akpo, should it be Obio, right? Because they were saying that certain other people had enjoyed. I also once had a conversation with someone, I can't remember, I think someone from HA, a lawyer, I think, that was my last conversation, Barrister Okuku. Was it HA? Ikwere local government area. And he also said, it's time for, the Akani people. If I remember very well, I hope I remember very well. Because according to him, they are, is it just, I can't remember, is it one constituency or two constituency? I can't remember how he explained it then. But he said, there were the conversations for zoning and people who are being marginalized. But what beats my imagination is, why are we even talking about marginalization, whether at a smaller level or at a bigger level? Why do we have these conversations if indeed governance is for the people, is by the people, and is of the people? What do I know? So joining me to have this conversation is a human rights lawyer. Yeah, you heard me right. He also is a socio-political commentator. I am talking about Paul Nwankoala. He's the head legal services, International Society for Social Justice and Human Rights. So I don't know, is it a human right thing? We would find out. I hope I pronounced your name very well.
Very well indeed.
Okay, that makes me a grievous man. But welcome on the show. It's good to have you, Barrister Paul.
Thank you for having me.
All right, my first question now. You heard my introduction.
Yes.
Let's start from the state level. Do you think the administration of His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara has been fair in terms of the distribution of, let's even call it resources, development, appointment? I mean, because there have been a plethora of appointments. Do you think it's been evenly distributed? Can we complain as Rivers people?
Thank you, Mr. Kalada.
Okay.
This is an interesting opportunity.
Okay.
To afford to Rivers people my concerns concerning appointments and distribution of social amenities in Rivers State by the present government of Rivers State. Let me begin by saying that I will exercise restraint to the highest degree and proportion. Reason being that I am the leader of Simplified Movement.
Okay.
Igbo the word.
So you're a supporter of the governor?
Yes, I am a supporter
All
of
right.
the government.
We're not going to play politics with the conversation, but let's get your thoughts on whether there's been an even distribution of appointments or even resources in River State.
Thank you very much.
Now that you've even said you're the supporter of the governor, I guess you would agree that he has done a good job. I'm supposing that's what you want to say.
Yeah, the governor has done a great deal, a good job in the distribution of social amenities, but I still have my reservation.
What kind of reservations do you have?
Yes, my reservation stems from the fact, and indeed with particular reference to a local government area where I hail from.
Okay.
A local government area, in the wisdom of the federal government, delineated a chair two constituencies, a chair constituency 1 and 2. And in the wisdom of the Independent National Electoral Commission, a chair local government area is delineated into 19 electoral wards.
Okay.
I happen to hail to be a member of a chair constituency 1.
Okay.
In a chair constituency 1 has 10 wards and constituency 2 has 9 wards. Traditionally also speaking, there are 5 traditional clans in a chair, though of one common descent. That's one progenitor. A chair constituency 1 has 3 traditional clans. A chair constituency 2 has 2 traditional clans. And to say, it is for the purposes of administrative convenience and development, given the land mass, size and population of a chair local government, that the government, in its wisdom, designated the chair into 2 constituencies. Now, Mr. Kalada,
I'm listening.
Here is the troubling issue, the troubling question that revolves my person. Though I have said I enjoy myself to exercise a degree of restraint, that I will do. In the past successive administrations in Rivers State, a chair constituency 1 has lived like orphans. A chair constituency 1 has lived like a conquered constituency or territory in a chair local government area. For example, I don't want to take you into a drive of antiquated facts, but suffice it to say that from 1999 to 2023, when the immediate past governor of Rivers State assumed the saddle of his second tenure, Constituency 2 virtually had it all in terms of appointments.
Okay, so how does this, I've listened to you carefully, right? How does this have anything to do with the current administration? You've said you've taken time to break down the structure traditionally, in terms of wards, in terms of whatever clans you've mentioned. But then how does this have anything to do with the question I asked, which is the distribution of resources and appointments in River State?
Thank you. It has more to do.
Okay.
It is explicit. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria recognizes federal character.
Okay.
And it is expressly enshrined that the government, at whatever level, has to observe the principles of federal character. And the principles of federal character translates to nothing other than the fact that the different components, the components that constitute a given level of government has to be taken into cognizance in making appointments.
But sorry to quote you short, you've said it mandates the federal government, but does it mandate the state government?
Yes. That same constitution is a document of statutes, of general application.
But I've heard, I'm not a lawyer, but I've heard stuff like, certain laws at the federal level must be domesticated for it to apply at the state level. And so, for instance, you will see the federal government make laws maybe on education, maybe on health. A good example is the minimum wage. And so you hear things like, the governor is waiting for some kind of approval for it to be domesticated in the state. So the question is, is it really a general law like you've described it?
Thank you, Mr. Kalada. I understand your perception. Though the Constitution delineates the powers of the federal, state, and local government into what we call the exclusive list, which denotes items and specific matters that the federal government has exclusive powers to legislate on. The concurrent list, where both the federal government and the state government have the concurrent powers to legislate on matters falling under those lists. And then the residual lists that are neither within the exclusive or concurrent list, where the local government has powers to legislate on. Now, I come down to your question. The provision of the Constitution that has to do with federal character is all-encompassing. It's all-embracing. It is a provision that enjoins the three tiers of government, the federal government, state government, and local government, to observe the principles of federal character. It is not a provision that oppresses or that attaches to either the federal or state government or local government alone. It is a provision of general application, permeating the soul of the three levels of government.
Okay.
Yes, and that is how it operates. Now, what am I saying, Mr. Kalada? Between 1999 and 2023, I don't want to go back the memory lane so that I will not bore you.
1999 to 2023 is already going memory lane, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes. In terms of appointment in a local government area, and that is where I will domesticate my concern.
Because you're from there.
Yes, right, because I am from a local government area.
All right.
Honorable Ben Choma was a commissioner appointed during the second tenure of His Excellency Onyeson Wike. Is from Constituency 2. Honorable Ephraim Muzi represented a Chiomuma in the Federal House of Representatives. Is from Constituency 2. Honorable Obinna Anyanwu was elected chairman of a local government area. He was from Constituency 2. Virtually, there was nothing for Constituency 1.
Nothing at all.
Yes. Well, let me not be miserly. Safe to say that Honorable Andy Joko was appointed special advisor, who is from Constituency 1. But every other juicy appointment went to constituency 2. Now, in the present administration, Governor Siminalaye Fubara is a God-given governor of Rivers State.
I knew you were going to praise him, but go straight to the point.
Yes. I would have loved to tell you how I feel about him.
No,
I feel very good about him.
We're not here for
but
emotions.
Because you have asked me
let's
to
go with the facts, please.
Yes. Mr. Kalada, in this present administration, Senator Oluwele Onyeso, who represents Rivers East in the National Assembly, hails from Umanyago community, a member of Constituency 2, representing us. Honorable Obinna Anyanwu served out his second tenure as a local government chairman, and the tenure expired 17th of June 2024.
Constituency 2 as
yes.
Well. Interesting.
2024.
Interesting.
When the present governor is in power. Now...
Where's the CTC chairman from?
Yes, I am coming. Barrister John Ngubo Tamri, the present CTC chairman of Echie local government area, who is the PDP party chairman in Echie local government area, is also from Constituency 2. Now, the governor appointed also Honorable Igwe Anyanwu as a special advisor on direct foreign investment, is also from Constituency 2.
Okay, interesting.
The governor appointed Honorable Barrister John Ngubo Tamri, the PDP chairman, who is also from Constituency 2, also appointed him as the present caretaker of Echie local government area.
Okay, I will pause you there. I do have a commercial coming up. When I do come back, I would ask the question. All of these names you have mentioned from Constituency 2, did they deliver dividends of democracy to the people? That's what matters, right? When we do come back.
For more talk, news and sports, stay tuned to Nigeria Info.
Back to 92.3 Nigerian Info. I'm yours truly, Kaladakuro Batubo. This is the Friday edition. First topical conversation for today on the show. And my guest is Barrister Paul, and he is the head of, just give me a minute, Legal Services, International Society for Social Justice and Human Rights. Barrister Paul Nwankoala. It's good to have you on the show. Welcome.
Thank you once again.
All right, so you took very long time, a lot of time, to explain how constituency 2 in HA local government area has been getting all the benefits when it comes to, appointments, sharing of appointments in HA. You mentioned that HA has got 2 constituencies. Constituency 1 has 10 wards, correct me if I'm wrong, and constituency 2 has got 9. But even though that constituency 1 has got 10 wards, constituency 2 with 9 wards has got more appointments than constituency 1. And for you say this is something that does not sit well with you and does not put the governor in good light, that you're saying it should be evenly distributed. But I have a question. Governance or government is for you. You're a lawyer, so you know how it is, written in the Constitution. It is for the dividends, or rather, if it is for the people to enjoy. The dividends of democracy is for the people to enjoy. And as a human rights lawyer as well, you would agree with me that it is the prerogative of government, the responsibility of government, to ensure that citizens enjoy these dividends.
Equitable distribution.
Are you saying it's also human rights to...
Yeah.
Constituency 1, are they lacking development? Are they, when compared with Constituency 2, are they not being treated fairly when compared to Constituency 2? I mean, that's where my focus is. What's your response to that?
Thank you, Mr. Kalada.
Okay.
I would not like to be fettered. Therefore, I would like to exhaust appointments.
We don't have enough time for that to be exhausted.
Let me quickly say, Dr. Gosin Ugochukwu Akagbo is an appointee in this government. He's from Constituency 2. Honorable Charles Nwankoala is also from Constituency 2, an appointee in this present government. Honorable Austin Nnadozie, who is now the president, is a commissioner, serving commissioner now, is also from Constituency 2. So it is good these facts are brought to public attention.
But my question yet again, has this in any way impeded development and governance in HA Constituency 1?
Thank you very much.
That's the question.
Yes. The development of HA local government area is directly proportional to appointments.
Why do you say so?
Yes. The appointees are the eyes of the governor.
Okay.
And the government.
Okay.
In their respective areas.
Okay.
And it is these appointees that draw the attention of the governor to the problems of a particular constituency, community, or locality.
So, from your definition, are you saying Otamiri, which is the CTC chairman, are you saying because it's from Constituency 2, he has not been a good representative of the governor in the local government in its entirety? Is that what you're saying?
Well, the truth remains. Otamiri is from Constituency 2 and is on the saddle of the local government council now as the CTC chairman. Without mincing words, Mr. Kalada, without mincing words, in the nature of Nigerian politicians, Mr. Otamiri gives priority attention to Constituency 2, where he here from. For example, on the assumption of office, the first step he took was to embark on the renovation of Okomoko Town Hall, which is from his immediate locality. Is that not an advantage? Is that not an advantage? Again, his appointees in the government constitute largely of persons from Constituency 2. And these appointees are paid. Is it not economic empowerment or human capital development? Let me tell you, Mr. Kalada, the infrastructural decay and backwardness of Echie, Constance 1, stems from the obvious fact that Constance 1 has been continually marginalized by successive administrations in Rivers State. Well, I am here to appeal to the governor. The governor has a prerogative. He has a preserve to make appointments and to distribute social amenities.
True.
But in doing so, I will enjoin the conscience of the governor to exercise that in good faith. In good faith meaning the governor should look at the various facets comprising of a local government area making appointments.
Let me pause you. I understand when you argue and say in the nature of the Nigerian politician,
yes,
where you come from, really enjoy. I mean, and it's similar arguments people from Akpo made when they were on the show not too long ago. However, as a human rights lawyer who is very knowledgeable of the law, should we not be fighting against this so-called characteristic of a Nigerian politician? So whoever, be it a Kalabari man who becomes chairman of a chief, if that ever happens, the Kalabari man would not carry his Kalabari people from Kalabari and come to Eche and dominate, but would ensure that as far as he is the chairman of Eche, he would make Eche something all Eche people would enjoy. Should that not be the goal? Should that not be the dream?
Thank you. Ordinarily, that should be the preoccupation of any occupant of any position. The preoccupation to attend to the various facets of localities and communities within his area of jurisdiction or authority. But Nigeria and Nigerian politicians are a different class of people altogether. They are people who, when entrusted with power, they begin to think of self. I will have to satisfy myself first, satisfy my family first, and satisfy my immediate environment first before I begin to think about other components within my sphere of authority. And that is the character of Nigerian politicians. And that is why Nigeria, not being a developing country, not a developed country, and that is why the framers of the Nigerian Constitution saw the apparent need to enshrine the principles of federal character in our constitution. But perhaps in the nearest time, when Nigerians would have grown in quotes, possibly that provision may be done away with.
Okay. So I understand the plight of HA Constituency 1, and I'm thinking about it. I feel like there are many other communities in River State or constituencies that may also be feeling marginalized, and they're listening to this conversation and they're saying, yes, tell the governor we need to be seen, we need to be heard, we need to be a part of governance, right? However, there is this argument, not just in River State, across Nigeria, that government is overbloated, that there are too many people in government. The appointments are too numerous, and government should cut down its cost. Are you in any way saying that the River State government should appoint more people, or are you advising the governor to let go of some of these loyalists of his and appoint people from Constituency 1?
Thank you. That is not my position. My position is not that the governor of Rivers State should relieve anybody from Constituency 2 or any part of Rivers State of his or her appointment. Government is a very large enterprise.
Okay.
It's a very large enterprise with the strength and character to accommodate persons who are qualified to serve in the government. Qualification should be the hallmark of appointments. But I'm not saying that the governor have made appointments devoid of qualifications. Every appointee has something to offer to the table.
Okay.
Every appointee should have the potency, should have the wherewithal to make contributions that will engender growth and development in the system where he's appointed. The government of Rivers State is not overbloated with appointees.
You think so?
Yes, I think so. There are agencies. There are state government agencies. There are state government commissions. There are state government parastatals. There are state government boards. And each of these agencies, boards, or commission, as it were, are designated to serve certain potential purposes for the benefit of Rivers people. And it is Rivers people that will occupy them. What is important is the capacity and potency of an appointee to be able to draw up blueprints that will help the developmental strides of the government.
Barrister Nwankoala. Now, let me come in now, right? Imagine for a second now, right? HA Constituency 1 is complaining. Akpani people, for instance, now in Ikwere local government are complaining. Akpo in Obi Akpo are complaining. Let's say different communities. Do you think the government can satisfy everybody at the same time?
Thank you. The government can indirectly satisfy everybody at a given time, but will not directly satisfy everybody.
Explain.
Yes. Government can indirectly satisfy everybody where there is even distribution of infrastructures.
But is it even possible? That's the question. Is it possible to evenly distribute infrastructure at the same time?
Yes, the resources are there. The resources for the distribution of infrastructures in every locality is there.
At the same time.
The governor is trying in that area. He's trying.
Well, there's a difference between trying and doing. Yes, he may be trying, but is he doing it? Is he being able to put massive infrastructures in every local government at the same time? I don't know. He may have, constructions here, constructions there, but massive developments in every local government at the same time. At the same time, is it possible?
Yes, it is possible within the limits of the resources available to the government.
Okay, so we're back to that.
Yes, yes. Now, and I'm sure, let me be fair to the governor of Rivers State in terms of developmental projects. I give it to him. Yes, in terms of appointments too, as a human being, he may not have fully directed his mind as to the character of different constituencies in making appointments. And that is why the people of Echie Constituency 1 are left with nothing in the midst of several appointments made by the governor of Rivers State.
And in your opinion, this has stalled development in Echie Constituency 1?
It has stalled development in Echie. It has stalled development in Echie because I did express that every appointee is a representative of his people and the government. And in the nature of Nigerian politicians, their attention is drawn foremost to their immediate locality. And that is where they draw the attention of the government is.
You mentioned you're a supporter of the governor. In Rivers State, I hear that a lot of you Rivers people, and I'm going to exempt myself because I'm a journalist, but a lot of you Rivers people, you take sides when it comes to politics, and so you're on the side of the governor. And if I had allowed you, you would have gone on a poetic expression of your love for the governor. However, I want to ask this question. For someone who believes in the governor, do you not think that the governor will be able to bring the kind of development that will take HA, for example, to where HA people dream of? Do you not believe that?
I have implicit confidence in the potentials and capabilities of the governor to drive development to every nook and cranny.
So if you do have that belief and faith, why are you bothered about who is appointed or not? Given the person who's appointed is, like you have said, a representative of the governor.
Thank you. Time is of essence in human leadership and transactions. Time is of essence in human governance. What is good for the goose is also good for the gander. Yes.
So I've heard.
I am not doubtful of the ability of the governor of River State to drive project to every nook and cranny in River State. But my worries and the worries of constituents, one people in a chair, which I stand to translate to the public, is that as the governor is stretching his hands of appointment to a chair constituency too, what is good for the goose is good for the gander.
Okay, now
he should as well stretch his hands of fellowship.
Okay.
Because members of HA Constituency 1, in their large numbers, enlisted into simplified movement. And in simplified movement, we have HA Political Assembly, Simplified Movement Wing, which I am the spokesman.
Wait.
Yes.
Now you're saying, if I understand you very well, that because HA people have invested in the simplified movement, because HA people are, constituency 1, simplified lovers. So for that reason, they should be compensated. Am I getting you right?
Thank you. Invariably, yes. Because because the members of simplified movement are people who are characterized with the developmental visions and the ideologies of the government.
I heard you very well, but your support is maybe I should rephrase. Your support for the governor, is it because the governor is good at governing, or is it because constituency 1 is looking for daily bread? Is it because constituency 1 is looking for appointments? Are you supporting the governor based on genuine love, or are you supporting the governor based on what you can get?
Thank you, Mr. Kalada. Rivers people en masse elected the present governor of Rivers State.
Okay.
And naturally, the governor of Rivers State is to ensure equitable distribution of infrastructures and political appointments.
Has he failed in distributing infrastructures? That was one of the first questions I asked.
Yes,
you.
in the area of infrastructure. In the area of infrastructure,
okay,
the governor has done well.
Okay,
he has largely done well.
Okay.
Even though a chair constituency 1 is left unattended to.
When you say unattended to, are you saying that HA people, constituency 1 to be precise, have not enjoyed infrastructural development?
Yes, constituency 1 has not enjoyed any infrastructural development. Safe to say that upon assumption of office, His Excellency embarked on the completion of Igbodo HA Nwankoala Imo State section of the road that was abandoned by the previous administration.
So what has
that is 2 kilometer roads.
So what has he not done for constituency 1? What are the things he hasn't done?
Yes. Constituency 1 as a people have been left as orphans.
How? My time is up. So
as a people have been left like a conquered servants.
How?
Yes. I am saying that in the entirety of appointments made by the present governor, all inures in the favor of constituency 2. And that is not supposed to be so. And there is need to draw the attention of His Excellency.
You're yet to tell me how constituency 1 was and is abandoned. You're yet to tell me. But let's assume let's assume, because time is fast spent. Let's assume you're right. If for any reason the local government chairmanship position is zoned to a constituency 1, would this settle or pacify constituency 1 people in HA?
Thank you, Mr. Kalada. This is another burning issue which I was to revert my attention to. Thank God you propped it up at this point. HA Constituency 1 Political Assembly Simplified Movement Wing did do a letter to His Excellency requesting for audience with His Excellency, and 2, requesting that the governor should reserve exclusively the upcoming chairmanship of HA local government area to constituency 1. Reason being that for unbroken 6 years, Obinna Anyanwu held the position of the council chairman. He's from constituency 2. Immediately after his exit from office, Barrister John Ngubo Otamri also assumed the saddle of the caretaker chairman, HA Constituency 2. He's also from HA from Constituency 2.
I've got to go to
and
the
now, Mr. Kalada.
Yeah.
Mr. Kalada.
Yeah.
HA people have a tradition of zoning the chairmanship of HA local government council. And the HA people are added them. They are in consensus. They have mutually agreed.
I've got to pause you.
Yes, they have mutually agreed that the chairmanship of the council will be ceded to HA Constituency 1.
So that's what you think when you say HA people, the people in the simplified wing. I need you to be particular.
No. It's a zoning arrangement.
Okay.
A zoning
All
arrangement.
right. Let me pause.
And anything short of that.
Barrister Paul, I do not have time, so I have to pause you now.
Thank you.
My next question is, and I think my final question, because I have to take calls. If the chairmanship position is not zoned and there is no appointment given to constituency 1, would the people of constituency 1 stop supporting the governor?
Mr. Kalada.
It's a very simple question.
Mr. Kalada, this question is very nebulous.
Would you stop supporting the governor if appointments do not go to constituency 1, and if the CTC, if the chairmanship position in HA is not zoned to constituency 1?
HA Constituency 1 people are law abiding. Well,
not supporting the governor does not make you less law abiding.
Yes, HA Constituency 1 people love the vision and aspiration of the governor for Rivers people.
All right.
And that will not deter us, whether or not appointments is dished out to HA Constituency 1.
Okay.
And whether or not the position is ceded, HA local government council is ceded to HA Constituency 1.
Barrister,
as people who love the governor of Rivers say, we will continue to support him.
I would have to post my time.
But within us, there will be worries. There will be concerns unexpressed.
All right, please, I have to post you now. My time is spent. I can just take. My apologies. I had so many questions to ask, but I'm going to quickly take 1-2 calls. We'll touch on this during the open season. I'll touch on it more. Evenly distributing appointments and development in River State. It's something that we need to even throw more light on. I will be going to different local governments in different areas and constituencies. But quickly, I'm going to squeeze in 1 or 2 calls. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003. Please, when your calls are picked, go straight to the point. WhatsApp number 0809 0306 416. Now, this message says, if the governor was working for HA Constituency 1, your guest wouldn't be in the studio crying marginalization. But should he not be talking about development of his village instead of appointment that will benefit few people like him? Ernest from Woji. I think I did ask that question, right? I've got Alioze. Alioze, quickly tell me your thoughts, straight to the point.
Yeah, one of the people I listened to Barrister Paul, he spoke extensively on what the reality in HA Constituency 1 and that of Constituency 2. One of the people, you will agree with me that in determining who you appoint or what that drives development to any constituency is characterized by the persons who are close to the government.
I agree.
These persons might be by elected or by appointed personnel. So
I agree.
if you look at what is happening in Ichi, aside from Regina and Obama, who comes from constituency 1, was once a chairman, and we see what development is and infrastructure he dragged to the constituency 1. Over years now, that particular constituency has been marginalized.
All right. So you're saying it's marginalized. I've got to go. I'm really sorry. I've got Clinton from Bori. Clinton, welcome. Straight to the point, please. Let's get your thoughts.
Kalada, it is marveling the number of persons this man is mentioning that are beneficiaries are in this government, and yet the local government calling on radio every day that they are underdeveloped. It's really shocking.
All right.
So I will also say that this man on his own part is also grandstanding. This was the same man that supported Yes or Wiki. He's not saying he did nothing. He's not saying the governor is doing this one, he's not doing this one. He should come out and tell us that the governor is not performing in its shade, that he should do project in its shade, not grandstanding as they are saying it now.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I've got Chima from East West Road. Chima, quickly, straight to the point. My time is up. Chima, are you there? Hello, Chima. Okay, I guess network issues, but I've got to go. But, any final words quickly in 30 seconds? Can you do that?
Thank you, Mr. Kalada. I am appealing to the conscience of our amiable, resilient governor of Rivers State to please, in his nature, to remember HA constituency 1, and then give them political appointments so that they will be the eyes of their people in this present government.
All right, thank you very much, Barrister Paul Nwankoala. I've got to go. It's time for a commercial break. But thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Mr. Kalada.